Hello, my name is DeLon Cannon. I work in Minnesota Department of Corrections at Vinyl Lakes. I've been here for about 7.5 years.
Hello, my name is Latoya Shelby. I'm a work out of class OAS senior for the Associate Warden of Administration here at Vinyl Lakes. I've been with the DOC for 5 years.
My name is Bola Olarinde. I'm a lieutenant at Stillwater Correctional Facility, and I've been in the DOC for 9 years.
I'm a Lieutenant Nemo with the Minnesota Department of Corrections, Stillwater. I've been with the department for the past 18 years and counting.
All right, people who inspire me are like Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Huey P. Newton, Bobby Seale, Harriet Tubman, Shirley Chisholm, Kamala Harris, many. The list can go on. I think they have faced a lot of adversity in their life, and they've came out on top.
My father is the person who inspires me the most because he taught me some very valuable life lessons. Some of the main ones were being resilient after being told no or failing. He's always told me to pick myself up and try again. And definitely not to ever give up in the face of defeat. Importance of hard work. And finally, he taught me that it's important to always treat everyone with dignity and respect. Doesn't matter where they come from, what they look like, who they are, their past, anything. You're always to treat people with respect.
My mom and dad both inspire me. They are immigrants from Nigeria, so I am first generation American. They've taught me what hard work can do. And I wouldn't be where I am today if it wasn't for them.
What inspires me is my oldest brother, Joseph, who is a sheriff in Tennessee with the Shelby County Sheriff's Department.
How's the DOC changed my life? I think it's changed my life immensely. I started off at food service and worked there for like 15 years. Then I went into law enforcement. I went back to school. And then I eventually became a police officer at St. Paul Police Department. And I realized that wasn't a good fit for me. So I took some time off and worked some odd jobs, and I came to the DOC back in 2014. And immediately, I thought this was a spot for me. I love working with people.
And I feel that another aspect of the DOC that has changed my life is that I've been in the workforce for a little while prior to coming here, and I think the benefits are well worth it, especially the health insurance. I do a lot of budgeting for my household, so personally, I just find that our benefits are amazing.
So working in the DOC, I've been able to meet a whole bunch of people that I would not have ever met otherwise. And I've been able to work in different positions. I like that you have the ability to change things up. You can try and promote, if you want to try something new. So that's awesome about the DOC.
Working for the DOC has changed my life tremendously. I came to the DOC without a family, with the good benefit. I was able to have kids, and my kids are doing good. I'm a happy man.
I'm Eddie Miles. I'm the current warden at Minnesota Correctional Facility at St. Cloud. Just last month, I started my 31st year. I got 10 to go. I really love working here. I started as an officer at Vinyl Lakes. I worked at 6 different facilities. I worked at Central Office twice, and I worked at 2 other facilities twice. And next month April, I start my 14th year as warden.
Warden Eddie Miles, who inspires you?
I when I get that question, I normally take a pause, or something similar to that question. I normally take a pause, and just a few years ago, we had our first Black president, President Obama. Currently, we have our first female Black vice president, Vice President Kamala Harris. And that's just inspiring in itself. I still remember, watching it on TV. And nowadays, you turn on television and you see lots of leading Black people of color, leading actors and actresses, all the shows. You know what I mean? That's inspiring today. And knowing that maybe in another 10 or 20 or 30 years, it's just going to continue to get better and better and better. It's almost the dream that Dr. King talked about. We are where we are, and things are better today, at least for me, than they were 40 years ago. So I anticipate and I'm praying that it's going to be better in the future.
Hey Miles, how has the DOC changed your life?
What's changed me is when I first started, a lot of us come into the business and we probably in some ways all want to do something which is make a difference. Some people just want a job, but I believe wherever you are, that's where you are, so you can make a difference from wherever you are. So I came in wanting to make a difference, and then you realize that you got a job, you got to do your job, and so I had to try to figure out and learn what can I do while doing my job to make a difference. And over the years, I've received phone calls, and I've been in many different positions at many different facilities. So I've come into contact with lots of people, lots of guys who've come and gone, lots of guys who've gone and gone. And that's another thing. We often talk about who are released and come back to prison, but we don't talk about who are released and never come back to prison. Because believe it or not, everybody don't come back. And there's a lot of people out there doing some positive things, and a lot of them believe, they will tell you that some of the things that they learned that helped them sort of break the cycle was from things that they learned from us and from the press. It's made me better, intentionally trying to do well for people inside of here to make a difference in their lives. That's what's made me better.
So thinking of the future of the agency, what advice would you give to someone that wants to reach your level of success?
Surprisingly, I get this question often, which is good because when I was new, I also came in with the goal of wanting to be a prison warden. So if you look at our existing 10 wardens now, there, in the old days, but back in the day, I should say old days, there was a kind of a route you had to take. You had to be an officer, and then a sergeant, a lieutenant, and maybe a case manager, and maybe a program director, then an aide, and an O, then a warden. Well, as time changed, people changed, times change, and all of our wardens now have a different route. We have at least 1, 2, 3 wardens who've never been officers. We have several wardens who've been officers, but maybe not been caseworkers. Some been lieutenants, and some been sergeants. I went the Officer Special Investigation route, so I wasn't a lieutenant or case manager. But my advice to especially new people who come in through the door, First, I think you have to come in the agency with a willing to learn and listen mentality. It doesn't take away from what you know and how smart you are, but in this business, I think that it's important to come in and learn. Figure out where the bathrooms are first and just listen and learn. We have a lot of veteran staff here that wants to help you and wants to share the experience. A lot of things in this business is based on experience because you've done it over and over and over again, and it's the people business, so people are different. So an experience with this person, there might be a different experience with them, and they're not always the same. So my first thing I say to folks is, just come figure out what bathrooms are. Come in, listen, learn, take in as much as you can, understand the mission of what we're trying to do, understand the policies and the why behind it, and really, really work hard on communication. And being yourself is important because you can't do the job the way I do the job. It just won't work. I can't do the job the way you do the job. It just won't work. And just be yourself. Anytime I'm willing to sit down and just talk about, especially the Department of Corrections. So thanks for thinking of me.